Welcome back to another video. Markets have been quite weak. Quite weak. There's the tariff news. There was supposed to be some crypto tax cut, like tax-free announcement this Friday. Apparently that didn't come through. Stocks are looking very toppy. They're at support. VIX has been rising. What a wild week it's been. Now that it's Friday, my trading is going well because I'm following very conservative principles. I'm avoiding very expensive stocks. I hate to say it, but certain stocks are overvalued. They have gone up quite a bit relative to their fundamentals. Palantir. Nobody likes a bear, so I'm not going to get into it, but I've been sticking to stocks at tangible book value, which Warren Buffett is a big fan of book value. He's a proponent of buying quality with a moat that doesn't use a lot of capital. So that's kept me out of trouble. And then I've been selling spreads, bear call spreads, and between buying when the market is low and selling call spreads when the market is up, I'm having a great time. So let's jump in to AMD because that's what I wanted to focus on right now. So let's see. Let me expand AMD. And it's been interesting watching AMD. AMD is down. What is it down? Down like 50 something percent. It was down as much as 57%. And we've been here before this 94 level. The reason I'm interested in AMD, one, it's beat up. It's down huge. It's at the 1,000-day moving average, which is below. It's actually very much below. Last time it was down here was 2022, and that was the bottom. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen again, but I like to shop stocks when they're down below those major moving averages. 1,000 MA is quite significant. Let me just adjust that to make sure you can see everything on the screen. But it's last time from 2021 to where it dropped and made a low in 2022, it fell 65%. So that was a bigger drop. And we are not quite there. If it did that exactly, which it never does it the same, it would be a little bit lower, closer to 82. So I'm not loading up the boat on AMD, but I am very interested. I've been selling put spreads for income. So 50% at the money spreads. You sell a put, get some money, and you buy a put for protection, and you're trading the spread. Look it up. I really like doing that. I actually bought a call spread as well. I'm not outright buying shares per se because I don't know how strong the market is. I do have some analysis here. First, let's bring up this infographic. So this is from Q3 2024. Data center revenue is a huge chunk for AMD, just like nvidia. NVIDIA, that's their biggest moneymaker. AMD could be a competitor to NVIDIA for a small segment. It's not going to beat NVIDIA, but they're getting a chunk of the action, and that's why I'm interested in that. So I just wanted to point that out. Of course, they have gaming and PC market, but that's a smaller segment, and that market apparently is still suffering. We'll move that out of the way. Here are some. I did a live stream today because I was kind of excited. And AMD is down over 50%. It's below the 1,000-day moving average, has a 21 PE and 20 to 30% annual potential growth. So I made a table. This is a new feature on TradingView. And let me make sure. So you can I make that bigger? Let's make that a little bigger. So these are the numbers I pulled from Seeking Alpha, and I have the annual EPS per year. And then I'm going to use two valuations. Right now, the PE is 21, but historically, it can get a rosier PE. Let me see. Price to cash flow. Yeah. So right now, it's getting a low price to cash flow. This is all backward looking. So you want to buy companies when they're low valuation and take some profit off the table when they're at high valuation. We go back to the table, and if not nvidia, AMD never sees a high valuation, these are the potential prices it can have in the future. 87 for this year, which is we're already above that. 87, 126 for 2026, 150, 200, and 220. However, I'm usually too conservative, and like especially the Palantir trade, it saw the future valuation today or up front, the 5-year potential move. It had it in year 2. So it would be like, in this case, the 5-year valuation for AMD is somewhere around $440 per share. Imagine that happening in the next 1 or 2 years. AMD's $100. Maybe it goes lower. I don't know, but imagine being able to buy AMD at 100 or lower, and it shoots up to 440 or more, because that's what tends to happen when things get overvalued. But now I know the 40 PE valuations. I keep track of those. I have the 20 PE. If I could get the stock below those numbers in that given year, that's my value buy for this growth company. And if I could sell above those numbers, PEG ratio, PE divided by growth, that's how I track it. This 20 PE would be around 1 PEG. 2 PEG is 40 PE. But what I see often is they will trade higher than they're supposed to. So that's when I would probably want to ring the register and take profits. Let me zoom in and get rid of everything. Let's go blank. So that's how AMD was trading today. I'm hoping in the short run, after it's beat up, maybe we break out above that 101, 102 level. And that's really the trade setup. And that's why I'm interested in this in the short run. If we look at the market, let's say we go back over here. Notice how expensive everything else is. Maybe not expensive. Expensive isn't the right word, but how high everything is. And the market was looking very bad until we saw some buying later today. If we look at, let's say, the NASDAQ, same thing. Maybe they're putting in some kind of a hammer candle in the short run. Let's see, nvidia. NVIDIA was looking quite nasty today. It was looking like it was in crash mode. In the short run, it looks like maybe that green hammer candle will be a short-term bottom, or it was just closing, people closing their shorts for the weekend. I won't know. We'll have no way of knowing. We'll find out on Sunday and Monday. The VIX, when everything was in panic mode, was looking like it was just going to break out. They shorted options or took profit on puts at the end of the day. So I want to believe that maybe things will cool off, and then we'll reassess next week. Hopefully we don't see some surprise crash. The odds of predicting a crash, which rarely happens, it's very hard to predict a crash, because like I said, they rarely happen. Last time we had a huge spike was here in August 2024, and that would have been a great time to crash, but they just absorbed it. So it looks like we might be absorbing this volatility we're seeing here. Is there anything else that's interesting? XLF, I was in XLF, but that rolled over. IYR, I was in Berkshire. It seemed like there is some worry because Investors are buying staples. This is the XLP, the staples ETF. I think of Costco, Walmart, those type of bread and butter everybody has to eat. And that was up today. So there's going to be two types of trades: value buys, scary. If people are scared, they're going to hide out in things like staples. And then there's the growth stocks that may recover or may not. So I would watch those. Here's Palantir. Palantir looks like it was breaking down, but they bid it up at the end of the day. So it would be a great spot to go lower or a great spot to go higher. All you do is you make a little channel. And this is one of those stocks that I think is overvalued for the current price relative to the future. But who am I to be the judge? It's up to investors. If they start bidding it up, they might take it all the way to the highs. I wouldn't be interested until it was quite a bit lower. But it's not up to me, it's the market. I think there's better values out there. Let me know what you think on AMD. A lot of guys were chiming in on the stream and talking about possible higher labor costs, and maybe AMD and all the chip makers will have more expenses if TSM moves to US and starts making chips only in the US. I thought that was an interesting discussion. Let me know if you agree, your thoughts, and I'll see you in the comments.